Welcome to another episode of Vine Panther Presents. I know we're a little bit late, but we shall be discussing them as we talk about season 2, spoiler review, and a little bit of season 1, how they connected. But anyway, let's get to the intro and we will start the show. Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is going to be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional. Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Yes, we're going to be talking about Them Season 2. As Jamani pointed out, this show is actually executive produced by Lena Waithe, which actually makes a lot of sense once you look at some of the casting choices. I was like, oh, yeah, that's where Luke James came from. Got it. I was like, that it all makes sense. But anyway, we're talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the plain weird. To be weird. And what does it mean? How does season 1, season 2 connect? We're gonna go through those types of things, and we'll get to the comments. So Kim, please, what is one of your positives that we can get into, please? You're muted.
I keep muting like when you're doing, the whole intro. So anyway, so Luke James' performance as Edmund was phenomenal. He went from he had every emotion that you could possibly name. Like, he was sad, he was angry, he was out of control, he was calm, like really calm, like uncanny calm. Like he really went all different directions with this, and I thought he did a really good job. He had me like actually terrified. I was like, I would never want to be anywhere with this guy. And I know we're going to talk about it, but that date scene, I would have pissed myself and I would have left, because that was terrifying. Like, I was like, wait a minute.
He's a method actor.
Yes.
He's a method.
I was like, wait a minute. And understandably, because he doesn't have like it doesn't seem like he has social skills. Like, he's kind of, introverted a little. I was like, you should know that you would freak her out if you did that. But in his mind, it was like, no, I'm in the character. And I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, have you ever been on a date? Like, it was pretty bad. But the acting, I loved it. He was superb. So for me, that's the positive, that he really had me. I was actually scared of him. So yeah, did a good job.
All right, so let's get into Luke James. Jamani, any comments about Luke James' performance?
Yeah, it was pretty good while he was alive. Yeah, definitely, it was like Emmy caliber while he was alive.
Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, I would say Emmy, Golden Globe, like definitely. Like for me, I would say he's a Sterling K. Brown level actor, because to me, Sterling K. Brown is one of the best dramatic actors
he is definitely, for sure. Yeah,
and Luke brought that in this episode. Yeah. I mean, in this series completely. Like a sympathetic murderer. Like you feel for him, you're scared for him, like you against him. You're offended by him, but then you also like, how did he get here? Like you understand, and that goes to the writing too, though. Congratulations to the writing too, that they gave him a character. You can explore all that. Like, how in the world do you get someone who can dress this kind of scary, is hurting himself, and can stalk someone and kill someone, and then like kill kids apparently, and but it's all, there's a reason for all of it, and he's just a product of his environment, of what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was awesome. I thought he sold that. And in the end, he sacrificed himself, even in this situation, to save his sister, and that sort of thing. He tried to redeem himself and that sort of thing. And I was like, that was a good arc. It was a good arc, I thought, all the way around. And seeing, like you said, seeing them from the shot, I thought the best scene of his specific acting was his audition. His audition for Thug number 2 or whatever, in whatever hood movie that they were casting. That this actor who plays a ex-con murderer, drug dealer, pretty convincingly on the shy, hence Lena Waithe, is now playing an actor who can't get into the role. Like he can't do it. And I thought that was amazing. I was like, you actually can, buddy, but you're like, oh no, I'm too not that guy to be that guy. And then he's trying so hard, and everybody's laughing at him because they're like, you're not the street dude that we think you could be. But then he turns into a serial killer with no problem. Like
we did BMF yesterday, right? I'm like, I want to know, was Christopher what's his name? Christopher B. Duncan. I want to know, was he like his acting coach? Because he went from, was it that original gangster to Braxton on Jamie Foxx show?
Who?
Braxton from the Jamie Foxx show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got Blaze. You're talking about Blaze.
Yeah, he was on. He was in that movie Original Gangster, where he was playing a gangster against Jim Brown or whatever in '96.
Oh, wow!
And then he went from that to the same year to Jamie Foxx show.
That's true. That's range. That's range of acting. Because like certain actors can't do it. Like the and I'll say Angela Bassett's husband. Like he ain't the one. Like he's not Kingpin. Like I don't see him doing that kind of role. But Luke James, I really thought he carried the show. And I definitely would have wanted more of him. And to see his very sad demise and the evolution as a character. But okay, so Kim, anything else that brought it to you?
I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing. The woman who played Dawn,
yes,
she was in the original film, the first season. She's
she
was the mom. I mean, her acting is always on par. So she did a really good job too. The young man who played her son,
yes,
he brought it too. I mean, the acting on here, I don't have any problem with. They really got some really good actors to play each one of the roles. I was shocked to see our boy from Power. What is his name? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Sax.
Sax.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, you go, Sax.
Yes. Hey, Sax.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, there's certain, especially white ones. There's certain characters that just will always play like law enforcement, authority. Like that's what you do
so well.
Like Lena Waithe was like, I saw you in Power, so you got to be some type of law enforcement. Like you're not gonna be the local street dude that we get information from. Like you got to be you say authority. And I was like, yeah. I was like, so I thought it was great to see.
And he had that whole early '90s white Cali cop haircut too.
Yeah.
I mean, straight. I mean, it's like he just left the cat. Like he got shot on Power Book 2, and then did this series. Like I saw
he just walked over to the other stage and was like, "I'm here."
I was like, "Here's the script. Here's the script, y'all." That's right. Yes, I did. Did y'all see Miss Jody from The Oval and Sax from Power? Didn't realize that Lieutenant was Newman from Seinfeld. Absolutely.
I knew that was Newman.
No, all right. So let me tell you, I said Wayne Knight is in this, and I was like, I've never seen him in. He's always in a comedy. I've never seen him in anything dramatic, and then it just clicked. I was like, Basic Instinct, and I was like, that was around the same time too. I was 92, and I looked it up.
Very good, Jamani. That's true.
Once I did that, I was just waiting for somebody being to the fact that this is that type of show, like just panties to just on off, and it'd be like a hallucination or something.
Jamani. Let's not do that. You thought Dawn was gonna cross her legs in the middle of her interrogation?
Not her, but not her.
That's what you wanted. Be like
not her, but
I was like, all right, Jamani. I don't know where you were going with this. No, man, I can't. I hear you. I totally forgot about him was in Basic Instinct. I did forget about that. But let's talk about the murders. I think Bernice Mott's and Athena's murders were justified, but the other murders weren't. Those murders was a job was to jog Dawn's memory of her relationship with Edmund. Jamani and I were actually talking about that. His victim selection is questionable. It's a little bit confusing. But definitely. I feel, and anyway, Joanna, we're not talking about. Edmund was a product of poor parenting, like in many ways, and it was a cycle that a mother, Ruby, they brought Ruby back from season 1 to say she gave up her children. She gave up her children because she's for a reason. She said, I can't take care of these kids. She gave them to Bernice. Bernice abused those children. And then Athena comes and adopts the children, but then she gives the son back to the abusive relationship. And then he turns into what he is, you know what I'm saying? And then even the white parents, at least they made some kind of effort to fix it, but by then it was too late and they gave him up too, but at least they gave him to another home. I mean, they didn't send him back to Bernice, but I'm like, he became what he went through, you know what I'm saying? And this is more of a indictment of poor parenting, in the Black community, really, because there's like 4 or 5 Black single parents in this shit, and like of different types. But I'm like, and look what happened. Like, look to and what that turned into. And even Dawn was also a single mother, apparently by choice. We never even got an answer to that, or why she sent her husband away, also from the Shy.
He was sent away, I guess, initially, but he said he was on tour, because then when he came back, he said, I'm not going back on tour. I don't know what he was touring doing. Maybe he was out there with Charles.
He's supposed to be a singer, I thought he was a singer.
But we never understood why they got divorced 2 years ago. They've been divorced like 2 years.
Because she had an affair with that guy, Reg. Remember? Yeah, they did say that. That she had her son said that. Yeah. Her son said that to her in the bedroom. Well, was it in the bedroom? I believe it was in the bedroom.
But that was like a hallucination, though.
No. So no. He said no. So no, she's right. But I took it as I didn't know that. I took it as he was saying, even though you said I wasn't here when they got divorced and she was a single mother, you said you were not here because you were working, but some nights you weren't working.
You were with Reg.
With Reg. But I'm saying, but that's not the reason why they got divorced. He was just saying that, like, I didn't see you. He was just saying, like, why the time that you were supposed to be mothering me, that you were out there again, and that Reggie storyline meant nothing and went nowhere and just disappeared.
Yeah, because I was like, can we get more backstory on how did you start sleeping with him? When did you start sleeping with him? What, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's been 2 years. And I'm like, so you've been sleeping with this man for 2 years, and this is the first time you spent the night at his house, and you're apologizing because booty calls you don't spend the night, right? So I was like, so I was even thinking before they even said it that she must have been cheating on her husband with this man, you know? So I don't know. They didn't really flush out why they got divorced.
But I'm like,
when the son said what he said, to me, I was like, she must have been out there, and maybe her husband got tired of it. Maybe he was like, I'm just tired of her not being home. And I mean, they didn't really give us. We didn't even know whether her husband knew about Reg. You know, he never said anything. He was kind of a really good guy, wasn't he? Like.
So again, it's like we are perpetuating a single Black mother situation for no reason. Like, what are you doing in this situation? So I was even more confused.
But it was
as far as being confused, I'm like, you're talking about me with the Basic Instinct thing. I'm like, what was that whole pool scene with the Sade playing?
Well, she was getting some. I mean, that's obvious.
I'm like, that had nothing. I was like,
that has nothing to do with anything.
They could have flushed out the whole backstory more, as opposed to having that scene.
No. Hey, Jamal.
Well, I think that they portrayed the father. The father was actually a good dad, and I thought that was something that they hardly ever show. The father did care about his son. He wanted to protect his son. He came right away when Athena was killed. Like he was there when his son was doing the whole
band practice
he was there. So I'm like, can we get, they get credit for that, because even though the parents were divorced, the dad was always there for the son, and he was there for his ex-wife.
So I mean, truly, which is why they just kind of So anyway, let's start with the positive. Let's start with the positive.
He wasn't there for the band practice, because he fell out in the band practice, and then she called him on the phone, and he said, "All right, I'm coming." So he wasn't even in town then.
Well, so when he showed up, when she was like, no, that was on his own. When it was at practice, and he was like, "Hey, you're here." It's like, yeah, I'm stopped by to see where practice went. Now, when she was having the concert, like, and then he wasn't there for that though. I think that was just
no, he wasn't. But he said he told the son on the bleachers that he has to go on tour. He told him that.
Yeah,
yeah,
and he was, and like, so it did feel like a Charles moment. So, but he was shocked. But again, we didn't get a lot of a backstory into that.
Right,
and then we didn't get hold on. So this positives. Episode 8 was the best episode in the series, but I didn't like how they showed the backstory in the last episode. They might have showed the backstory in episode 8 of season 1 too. So Dominique, to your point, I this is where I think we also agree it didn't make sense that all of a sudden Ruby's somehow a single mother. How did
they didn't flush that out?
Like what happened?
Who's the dad? None of that. They didn't show us what happened to her sister. We don't know what happened to her mom. We don't know what happened to her dad. We don't know. We know she's traumatized. We know that, right? From season 1. But what made her decide, like, I'm too traumatized to take care of these kids? Where did these kids come from? Like, they didn't show us any of the background of Ruby's story or the family story so that we can go from A to B to Z, to C, that kind of thing. So I thought that was just odd that they left that off. Like,
can we just acknowledge the elephant in the room? Like, even the artwork and everything in the background with the red and black and everything, they're just basically trying to do a knockoff of Us from Jordan Peele, but his reveal at the end was way better than this one was.
Oh, that it was all like, okay, all right. So like it's you how? Okay.
So the fact red. That it was that they switched the color red because red.
Yeah, because I'm like that was basically, it wasn't twins, but it was like a doppelganger. But in this, it's twins that were given up or whatever. Instead.
Okay, all right, okay, I get you. Well, in that case, at least this one didn't have random ass people just standing out there. Because I had no idea where you were trying to go with that. Hands Across America thing. I was very confused. I believe it will be be a season 3 because I believe it will be a season 3 because they showed the tap dancer man at the end. So again, I'm sure there will be a season 3. I'm sure it's very popular, but again, how does this extend the story? And then, like, where was this tap dancer this whole damn time? Like, the demon that helped that had Edmund become the creature that he was. Who was this creature?
Yeah,
where did the creature come from? Yep, why did he pick it? None of this is explained.
No, and like, why did he wait 2 years? That's what got me. I was like, I could understand he died. And then what was he doing for 2 years? He just all of a sudden it's 2 years now. Now let's
start killing.
Yeah, I'm like, it made sense that the killing started because it was their birthday. The episode started that morning. It was their birthday. That made sense. I can see if it was 1 year or something, but to say 2 years, I'm like, it's just random.
The death. So Bernice's death, as we said, was completely like justified. Like, because I felt when I saw her get murdered and then I saw the drug dealer get murdered, I thought I texted her. I was like, I thought this was some kind of avenging angel. Like, they were trying to protect the children because Bernice's murder led to those children being saved from her abuse. Like, that happened, and they went to better child protective services. And then the drug dealer, like, he was having his baby in danger, like that. But you didn't know that until Edmund showed everybody, like, look, he is in fact putting his baby in danger, making crack at the same time he's making baby bottles. Where's the mama? We don't know. But and so I thought, oh, he's going out here finding parents that are maybe neglecting their children or abusing their children, and he's trying to fix that. And I thought that was going to be the pattern. But then you find out before that he murdered two Korean twins. I'm like, for what? Like, this don't make no damn sense.
I didn't understand that part with the Korean twins. I didn't understand
just because they're twins.
Yeah, but why? Like, still, even it doesn't make sense. And then when with the one that he killed, the
The
guy
Latino
who
boy.
was at the video guy, the one who was doing
Yeah.
the video and was laughing. Now that I understood, right? Because you're laughing at me, you're making fun of me, and I got that part. But when he, other than that, yeah, the twins made no sense to me. Every other killing made sense except for the twins. So,
And the little
The
boy,
twins
the
made
little boy,
sense. The drug dealer didn't make sense. The drug dealer had nothing to do.
the drug
with
dealer was a
anything.
bad parent.
yeah.
But he's not after bad parents. He's trying to jog the sister's memory as far as these are twins.
I'm not saying that it makes sense, sir. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm saying that was wait a minute. That was Dawn's theory for the record. That was her theory about what was happening, actually. So he never actually said that. So it was her theory that, oh my God, because he was chasing these people before Dawn even knew who these people were. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't make any sense. Like Bernice, and again, he should have killed Bernice as a human because the Snyder, the racist partner was actually correct in many terms. Because when he saw Bernice's murder, he said it's the easiest, the simplest solution is likely the truest. One of her abused children killed her. He just had the wrong child, but he was absolutely correct. Edmund, as an abused child, grew up and then killed her for the abuse. But that should have happened as when he was alive. Not he should have to turn to some kind of demon.
No, but that is something. If they had that theory, that should have been episode 2 or 3. They unsealed all the files and said, these are all the list of all the kids she took care of over the years. Oh, Dawn Reeves is right here on the list.
Yeah. That should have been, yeah. That should have been flushed out. I'm just saying his theory on that was correct. His interpretation that said drug dealer was in fact a drug dealer was absolutely also correct. And I was like, and then he was like, don't talk to these people because they ain't for you. And that was also correct because when she engaged with the community did not want to be engaged with her. She pulled out her gun, ran through 3 people's houses with no warrant, pointing her gun at anyone who she came in contact with, and was 2 seconds from killing that dude until he pulled out the baby. So, she got her ass whooped by the black community because she's a cop.
But yeah, but that's comparable to her interaction with Edmund because it was, I'm not even going to give you a chance. If you come back here, I'm going to arrest you. For what?
Thank you. Then, before that, she beat a black man damn near to death with a nightstick. Like, the biggest threat to black people is her. I mean, goddamn. Like she was on a rampage for a while. And I'm like, and then she consistently did shit with no partner, no assistance, no nothing. Like, what is happening? Like, she investigated her partner, didn't tell anybody where she was going, didn't talk to her actual partner. She could have ended up dead. Easily. Made no effort. When she
she almost ended up dead when she was stalking her partner, and it was like a KKK rally or
whatever. But that's my point. Like, everything she did on her own, and it didn't make any sense. When she picked up the Latino boy and left the house with no warrant, no invitation, she did it. Why did she take the partner with her? Like, you go together, because why is he still standing in the house? Like, that didn't make any sense.
That I don't know why he didn't come with her.
That's what I'm saying. And then at the end of the thing, this whole we're gonna sweep everything under the rug and blame the white man for everything doesn't make sense because he didn't break that little boy's body. There's no way he did that because by her own admission, it was just her and that little boy. That's her story. So I'm like, how did your cop get there, break the kid's bones and stick them in the car before you get to the hospital? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
But it doesn't make sense that she would have been able to do it in the 8 minutes that it took for her to get from there to the hospital. That's just an anomaly that would not make sense entirely in any world at all.
Like, but at least she's dead. But it makes more sense that at least she was the only one with the body. Who else did it? Tell me who else did it. And she's like, I don't have an answer, but I got a recording of my partner shooting another cop, so therefore I'm good for all these other situations. And it was the cop blamed for Pam Grier getting her head cut off. Was he also responsible for that one too? Because I don't see how. But
I don't even know, because I'm like, was that attributed to the serial killer because her head was cut off? She wasn't like, all her bones weren't broken like all the other victims.
So now you're breaking the pattern. So anyway, I feel Kim, who do you think he should have killed? Because I got a list of people I just feel like Edmund should have killed. That would have made more sense. Do you have any other victims?
No, I mean, no, not really. I mean, who else should he have killed? He killed Bernice, who was the one who abused him. Maybe he should have tried to find his real mom, Ruby, and killed her. Because, like, why would you leave me with Bernice, who was a horrible person? He could have killed her. He could have found out who his dad was, because we don't know who the hell the dad was. So he could have went after his dad, because, you know, his dad, basically, from what Ruby's saying, is not in the picture. Why isn't he in the picture? What happened? Is it Ruby's fault? Was her trauma too much for the guy to handle? Like, we don't know enough to know. We the only thing that we know is that Edmund and Dawn were abused by Bernice after they were left with Bernice, and then they were adopted by Athena, and Edmund had some mental issues, basically, and behavior issues that the mom and dad could not handle, and they gave him back to his abuser, which was wrong. So him killing Athena made sense. It did. And the father had a heart attack, but I'm pretty sure that Edmund would have killed him had he been alive, because, you know, he sent him back to Bernice, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
But why would he have killed him if he was still alive? Because Athena said she sent him away because the husband died.
Well, no, he said in the event that they because he was already having he was already being a troubled child. In the event that they would have both sent him back, then they both would have got killed. That's all she's saying. That if somehow he still would have went back, he would have.
Yeah, because David asked me who I felt like he should have killed. That would have been another person that he should have killed, right? Yeah. But other than that, I don't, because I know what Dominique is saying about Edmund killing Athena because of returning back to Bernice, and made Dawn forget about him calling her for imaginary friend. Okay, so we got that part, but even with the twins, the Asian twins, you can't just kill them because they're twins. What is the reasoning behind that, other than the fact that they were twins? Like the whole thing with the little Latino boy,
the Latino kid, he killed him because his brother and him were separated, and the other brother got sent back.
I got that part. That was
so I'm saying that makes just as much sense as him just killing random twins.
In the sense that it doesn't make sense.
because Edmund should have killed the grandmother of that Latino boy.
Yes, thank you.
Not the boy.
Yes, because she's the one that made the choice. Like, you killed the parents because they're the ones that made the choice. Like, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So that's why,
exactly. He should have killed those white parents. Because, I mean, now they gave him to a group home. Like, they didn't return him to Bernice. I hear you, but they still turned their back on him.
Right.
And
so
then
Yep.
So that would have made sense. Again, if they would have killed Ruby and the father, right? Mm-hmm. And Ruby doesn't know who these people are, but she's still investigating the murder. And then she finds out that, oh my God, like, these are my actual parents. Like, it's all somehow connected to me. And then Edmund is like, yes, like, these are the people who put us with Bernice, right? Like, he's trying to tell her a story. So every victim is tied to her directly or to him directly. Yes, his boss, he should have killed the boss too for firing him. He could have killed Rhonda for ruining his acting career, because she's the one who got him kicked out of that audition. He was crazy, don't get me wrong, but she was the one who went in there and said, he's unstable and he got to go.
He got to go. Yeah.
All those victims would have made sense and would have connected, but it's like they just went on a tangent of killing kids. It just didn't make sense. Edmund's was Don's protector. Yeah. The Asian twins are twins like them, not the same them, because there were two girls. So there's no way that she would have put two girls to a boy and a girl, and like somehow that's supposed to make sense. That
doesn't. That whole twin thing, Asian twins, That was a mess up by the writers. That doesn't even make sense.
That don't make any kind of sense.
I say it makes sense in the sense that he killed the kid who was able to stay, right? And then he killed a female twin. So it's all about him, I guess, ramping up to kill Dawn.
Well, so again, he killed both girls. So again, doesn't make sense. If the father, they focused on, it showed the father who didn't want the story. If the father would have been one of the kids that were in Bernice's home or something and it beat him up or abused him at some point, so he wanted to hurt the father by killing the kids, that would have been something. If somehow they would have connected it that way, that would be something, and I would have been okay with that. Anyway, let's talk about time frame. So, Kim, when did you figure out that we were looking at two different timelines?
Oh, pretty much when you told me, but. But when I watched it a second time, and he was doing the video for his sister, that's when it clicked that it was two different timelines. Just based on the way he looked, right?
Yeah.
I was like, this is completely different than her timeline. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It clicked then, and I said, yeah, that you were definitely right that it was two different ones. Yeah. Yeah.
Jamani, did you ever pick up, or when did you pick up there was two different timelines going on?
Almost immediately.
How?
I heard people saying that there was two different timelines, but I had no idea what the two different timelines were. But when they showed Edmund for the first time, they were playing like My Prerogative and stuff like that, and it was very 80s. So I was like, yeah, this is like totally a different time than 1991. Yeah. And then he was watching Arsenio Hall with the
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, when Jason 8 came out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was RoboCop for me. When he was at work and the video game next to him was RoboCop, and I was like, what? I was like, when did RoboCop come out? And then I looked it up. It was like 1987. And I was like, that doesn't, wait. I was like, wait a minute. So then I texted Kim. I was like, RoboCop came out in 1987, not 1991. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And randomly you said that. And I was like, what are you talking about?
I was like, wait.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it has, that's what did it for me. But also, and then we backed it up to Edmund. No one in Edmund's immediate vicinity was talking about the Rodney King beating. Everybody, near Dawn, that was one of the main topics on conversation, especially with the Black community.
Yep, it was.
No one in Edmund's world was talking about that, and I was like, that's weird. And I'm like, I was like, wait a minute. And then when he came to the door, and they were hyping it up too much, it was too much. Dun, 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 like they're building up tension. I was like, that's not him. Like there's gonna be something. And then it was like, oh, it was 1989. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
And his police interaction wasn't like all the other police interactions were in 1991 when they arrested him with the Lady of the Night or whatever you want to call it.
Well, so that's another thing, right? Like they were looking for a serial killer then. They're like, oh, he's not the one. That I thought if his serial killer mode would have started then. Like she said, I'm here to take care of I'm sucking dick to take care of my kids. And he's like, kids, you should be home with your kids. And he snaps, right? Because it's like, oh, he kills one because he's trying to protect kids. Like that's his thing, and he just goes too far. Like the whole South Side Slayer, they never solved that crime. Like none of if he would have been the one killing some of those women, they'd be like, oh, he was the guy. Like tie this shit together. Like the whole wall of missing Black women meant nothing. Like I'm like, what was the point of that? If we're
is that a tease for season 3?
No, they're gonna keep that shit moving. No, I don't. I mean, it should have been together. Somehow he did that. Like he was out there killing women he thought were not taking care of their children. And then Ruby should have been killed. Daddy should have been killed. And then as Dawn is investigating this murder. This has been done in other movies. As Dawn is investigating the murder, it's all tied to her. Like he's sending her messages with each body, and he's like, "I want you to find me." And then they come together, and it's like, "Oh shit, you came to my house in 1989." And it's like, it's all like, "Oh shit." And then he didn't have to be a demon killer. Like he just could just been a dude at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because he was giving me Silence of the Lambs vibes. Like when he was like in his underwear and like transforming himself.
Yeah,
when he was like painting, like I thought like the killer was going to look one way. I thought first it was gonna be him in the pig costume. No.
Yeah, I thought, yep.
And then he started doing like the black paint around the eyes and then the red face or whatever. No, that wasn't it. Then he was wearing the stocking on his face. No, that wasn't it. Then he was the doll type of thing. Yeah, that was it. But we didn't get that until like episode 5 or something like that. I was like,
yeah, because I didn't understand the tie to Raggedy Ann and Andy, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't get that tie until later on, like when they started to show him because I was like, oh, okay. And then they showed that Ruby, that was the last toy. Or something that she left for both the babies, and I was like, "Oh, that's why he's turning into that character because that was the last thing that his mother gave him, that toy, and he clung to that toy. That toy meant
it would have made sense if he showed up to the house that day and had it in his hand or something and was trying to show it to her, and she was just like, "I don't know what that is."
Yeah. That would have been good too. That would have been good too, because that would kind of tied that together. I had my fingers crossed. I need to figure out about killing the wait a minute. I thought he was gonna kill the boss. Yeah, because that boss needed to go. I thought he was gonna kill the prostitute too. Yeah, but I was like, it looked like that girl was about to get it. Like I was like, definitely about to get it, and I was like, yeah, he got like. But even that monologue, the man can act. The way that he was like, let me give him the speech, and then he was like kind of channeling Charles Manson type of thing, like he was trying to get into that kind of mind space, and I was like, this dude is bringing it. They're like, oh, we caught the killer. No, he's just acting, and he's like, damn it, and that's when I thought, oh, so he's like, oh, I need to be a killer. That's what I need, or he actually was the killer, like he's been doing it off camera, and they finally caught him, and I was like, oh shit, like I was like, okay, like that's what's gonna happen, and then none of that happened.
Speaking
so
of,
I was like, what?
Make the Super 8 video and making the camera guy run lines from his 6-year-old birthday. Make that make sense to me? What was the purpose of that? What was that?
I
thought it would. He was jealous that a parent loved him.
Yeah,
and I almost. And then the little boy's response of, can I just go play? Like he didn't appreciate, to me, that the little boy at the time didn't appreciate everything that it was being given to him. Yeah. And again, that's the same man that made fun of him. There was other things, but he was like, you had a parent that loved you and gave you a birthday party, you ungrateful piece of shit. It's like, you know what I would have did for that? That's how I took that particular
That's how I took it too. Exactly the same way. The jealousy of it all, yeah.
And that's what I thought. Like,
so how dare you? How dare you have the audacity to like act like your mom is not doing her very best for you, and you're not even grateful, And yeah, that's how I looked at it too.
And then if they would have kept that going with the twins, if they would have been like, mom, the twins just didn't appreciate our parents. If the brother was like, they did everything they could and they were snotty or whatever. And then maybe that okay, so maybe that makes sense, but that's not what happened. But that's how I took his first victim. But again, Bernice should have been his first victim, or at least on the top of the list of the people he killed before he died. That it made no sense that again he had to become kind of super demon to take this woman out. And then it
seemed like he was like omnipotent after he died because he didn't know where Dawn lived. So to say he was going to do something to Ruby, he couldn't even find the twin sister that he was in foster care with to start with, to even find out who Ruby was to begin with. So there was no way he was going to kill her.
Well, I'm saying once he became, he knew where Bernice was. He could have killed Bernice. He could have killed, but he knew where Bernice was. Like, she didn't move. I'm just saying, Ruby and all them. Like, once he became Super Beast or whatever, like, again, he became omnipotent, and he knew all this stuff. Like, so I'm like, if the demon should have helped him find Ruby and kill Ruby and the father. And and just like he killed the drug dealer, like, you were not there for your children. Look what happened to me, and that's what should have happened. But like, it just didn't, and like it just. Also, I thought it took 3 bodies before you're a serial killer. At least I thought it had to be at least 3.
They cut it down to 2. They cut it down to 2 a couple of years ago.
I was like, all right, because I was like, that just seems like an odd coincidence. But all of a sudden, she's like, and then
it depends on how well the pattern fits, more or less.
They did not care about missing Black people around that time, especially Black women. What that seems to be a common thing. I mean, I don't think that was specific to the 90s. I mean, that they still say that
remember
today.
the Grim Sleeper was in that time frame. Remember the one that was killing? Have you ever seen that documentary, the Grim Sleeper? It was in LA, and this guy was killing crackhead women, and it was around that time. That whole Rodney King and all that stuff. It was around that time, and he was killing women. He killed a lot of women, actually. Well, and he was a serial killer. And they had all the pictures of the women all over the walls and stuff. Like, the police were trying to catch this guy, but who it ended up being was somebody that you would have never thought it was.
So they caught him eventually.
They did catch him. The documentary is really well laid out. But it was just a man who had a nice house. He had a business. And he was Jamaican, I believe, a descendant. He came from Jamaica, whatever. And it was a Black man. He was a serial killer. And the women were mostly prostitutes because of their drug addiction.
Yeah, it's all.
They became prostitutes, right? But he had 2 survivors, and that's how he got caught. That's how he got caught.
Well, I'm saying.
Speaking of historical references, right? I don't know how familiar you are with the whole Latasha death that played into the whole Rodney King thing or whatever, right? But when the Korean lady was talking to Pam, I thought that her being a store owner, I thought something was going to happen with that.
Could you elaborate on that? Because I don't know.
Letitia was this girl who had like a menace to society almost kind of moment. She was in the store. They were like, you're stealing or doing something, and the Korean store owner shot and killed her.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Like a big thing. And then basically when the riots happened, like all of Koreatown, everybody was like store owners were on the roof with guns trying to stop people from looting because people wanted to loot those places, especially after the whole Latasha murder.
Oh, 14-year-old killed in the store. Yep.
Yeah, that's a documentary too. That's another documentary. And
it's funny you should bring that up because it was unnecessary to me. The whole Rodney King thing. There's a lot of things happened in 1991. It just distracted from the whole like young man turned to serial killer thing. But if you're gonna tell that story, you need to tell the whole story. Like, flash forward to 1992 when the verdict came out. And the riots happened, and then you got Reginald Denny, who got pulled out of his car and got his ass whooped on camera, and tell that story. And then the Black.
They said 6 months later, so I'm like, they're just sitting at home eating fine or whatever. I'm like, it would have made more sense if Tap Dance Guy came out around the day the verdict came out or something.
Something like connect, like tell both ends of the story. Like, I'm saying, because that. Like, it would crazy. And then the Black store owner who was like, why are y'all doing this? Why are you destroying? Like, I'm one of you. Like, he was like, they could have put those 2 scenes together. If none of it had anything to do with this main story. It's really my point. But like, if you're gonna do it, you can tell the whole story. I was like, what are we doing? Like, we know so little about Edmund and why he did what he did and how he did what he did. And I'm like,
I thought they could have went further into the actual abuse, right? Like, for me, we didn't see any actual physical abuse, right? Even though I understand that it was like, it could be mental. Like, some people may not hit you, but they mentally abuse you, right? So we got that. But we didn't see her do anything except for chase Edmund around when he was little, right? And that she was going to hurt him because he went in her room or something, right? But there was no actual abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was crazy. We know that, right? She was a sociopath or whatever. But to me, I thought that they could have went deeper into that, like her psychosis and what she was actually doing to those children. Because her on the bed with all those TVs, yeah, that was a little loony. And holding the kids like, you know, and basically saying all types of crazy stuff. Yeah, but what else did she do? Did she beat them? Did she kick them?
Well, when you see her and she's saying whatever to the kids, it seemed like she's already in the state of, what do you call it, like that Sandra Bullock movie or whatever.
Psychosis, or
like when they were seeing the demons or whatever, and then they would just go crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's the way the movie started off. It was like, you can't go to sleep, you can't look at it. We have to cover the mirrors, the windows, and that meant nothing.
Well,
that's true too. That I thought the same thing, Jamani. Because remember, in other movies, when they cover, because I remember there was this movie years ago where Kate Hudson was in it. I think The Key. I think it was called The Key.
Yeah.
Where she was in New Orleans. That was a really good movie, wasn't it? And where you cover the mirror. Because that's where the spirit, when you die, your spirit supposedly goes into the mirror. So when people die, you cover the mirrors. So they were tying that kind of thing into this, right? Where that's when the dad, who was actually a drug dealer, was when he was holding his baby and they were ripping off the sheets off the mirrors and he was going ballistic. I think it was because he, of course, saw the Edmund, basically the demon of Edmund.
But then but to my point, they really didn't tie it together, like the whole sleep thing, like the fact that Beatrice was like, I can't sleep.
What was that for?
Sleep. Like it turned into some kind of Freddy Krueger shit, and that's not even how he kills people. So like it wasn't consistent. And then like the mirror thing wasn't consistent, because when the little boy got killed, he was awake and his bones got broken. There was no sleeping going on. So I was like, what?
And I'm like, the son went to sleep. He was like sleeping the whole time. The grandmother brought him the soup. He's, I'm going to sleep or whatever. So it just negates that whole I gotta stay awake thing.
That didn't make any sense. That was something somebody threw in there. And
I was like, again, they watched too many horror movies and just started typing shit. And was like, this is, and I'm like, this don't wait. But I saw this in this movie, and then like, what about? Yeah, let's just do all of it and just make them look. I was like, it was a lot of things going on. We got The Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson and Bird Box with Sandra Bullock. I thought Bird Box was the blind where she couldn't see things.
Yeah, but if you actually look at the demon, that's when you go crazy.
Oh, my bad, my fault. All right. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get any of that. So this is also a thing I hear often. They needed more episodes. No, they needed better episodes. Like more is not more would have been more racism. Like you need to focus. Like
I think they needed more, and I think Amazon said no, do it in 8, and then they just had to. You try to trim stuff, and you're just taking stuff out. There's pieces that were obviously missing that needed to have been there, and they were planning on 10, and they just ended up having to squeeze everything into 8.
Okay, man. I would say there was a lot of fat that they could have trimmed. That they could have focused on Edmund. You know what I'm saying? The racist partner.
For me, that's what I'm saying. Like with Edmund, once Dawn stayed with the parents, right? With Athena and the husband, right? Yeah. Okay, so she's there. So show us what is happening with Edmund
in the abuse.
In the abuse. That's what I wanted to see. I understand that she was nuts, but show me the abuse. I understand that there is mental abuse that happens, right? But there also is like physical abuse that usually happens too.
So it could have just been documented. They could have just had it in a file, and
exactly. They could have had the social worker come and
And I want to know, where's Felicia Rashad when he came to the house in 1998? Because now all of a sudden she now lives with them. When did that all of a sudden happen?
I don't know. And why was her hand shaking? There's a lot of things about Athena just not explained. Like I was like, I thought anyway. To the abuse. Once Edmund brings her to the house, he makes her remember that Bertice used to put her in that box, which we never saw. Never. And like what happened to the box? But like so to your point of like beating them, maybe breaking their bones, like that could have been.
That's what I'm saying. Like that kind of thing. And also like you said, they showed her in this box. have the box in the closet still, right?
Yeah.
So that we can see that this is one of the things that she used
Yes.
on Dawn and on all the other kids, right?
Yes.
Show me more of the abuse, even if they would have done it where they had a file, right?
Yes.
With CPS,
Yeah.
with children with broken bones and bruises and things. And that would have I would have been like, okay, this woman was like, they knew about her abuse, but they kept giving her kids anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. So I thought that they could. So I understand what Dominique is saying. Maybe if they would have added at least maybe one more episode or something, they could have given us more information about Ruby, about the dad of the twins, about the Bernice and her abuse. You know what I'm saying? And give us more information about the husband and wife, Dawn and her husband. Why did they break up? What happened? Give us more of their relationship too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if we find out that somehow she was distant, she couldn't make connections, you know what I'm saying, and maybe that's tied to, she don't even know that that's tied to what happened with Bernice. Like somehow, like she has a problem with making intimate relationships, right? That like that would have been something if we could have like Bernice always isolated us,
or she pushed his men away because she came home that day and her father was just dead or something like that. And it's a father, a daddy issue or something like that, where she pushes men away because she's scared that they're just going to die or leave or something. Like it could have been
also with Athena with her hands, when she said to her mom, like, how are your hands doing?
Yeah.
I was like, well, does she have carpal tunnel? Does she have arthritis? She still works every day for 10 years. She's been working. I mean, what is with with her hands?
I thought it was Parkinson's. Like the shaking, I thought it was like Parkinson's or something. Like because it was like involuntary shaking. It was what was going on. So
it could have been that too, but they didn't say it though.
They didn't. And then I thought Edmund was doing it because remember when he again, almost like she blamed him as a baby for not opening the pill bottle, and he was like, try to open the bottle now and see how easy it is. Remember when so I thought maybe he was making her hand shake to show like it's not so easy to open these bottles, and it's not my fault that dad died or something. I thought they were going to connect it that way. But
that would have been a good idea though.
I thought, but again, he was a baby. Like that's even more crazy that you're trying to blame this child for not helping a grown man take his pills. Like that was I was like,
she was wrong for that. She was absolutely wrong.
But anyway, I feel like they would focus more on the main story. I think that we could have flushed some of those things out to make it relevant and make more sympathetic, justifiable killings. That's what I'm trying to say, because the children were not. And I'm like
Felicia. I mean, not Pam Grier was basically having her own show or something all on her own with the doll. Like she got rid of the kid because he didn't take to the black doll. He only wanted this doll. Then the store owner, she threw away the doll, and the store owner is like, this costs way too much money. She's like, oh, it's racist. We can't sell it here. What all this other stuff. She wouldn't back down on that. I'm like, why did she care so much about this doll? It was like she knew that the doll was possessed because she's seeing the daughter in the tub and everything like that, and it's like, I gotta confess now. It's coming. It's gonna come out. She's all paranoid and everything, and then she gets the call to go to the store. I'm like, there's a whole story right there with her and the doll. That could have been.
I thought the doll was again a reminder of Edmund and what she did. Like
that's what I took from it. I felt that was why she didn't want that doll in the store. Not what I mean. The doll does have the racism story or whatever. I've seen it. I've read it. But still, that to me that wasn't necessary to tell the story. What it was is that doll reminded her of Edmund, right? Because she probably took when she gave him back to Bernice, she gave him that doll to take with him, right?
Yeah.
And it was the doll from his mom, and that made more sense to me than the fact that it was a racist doll. Okay, no, that's not a reason for you to throw away like money, hundreds of dollars. Why don't you be honest with this woman that you've known for 10 years, that you seem to be close to? Let her know, what's going on with the doll, like what happened in your past with this doll, and maybe she would have understood, right? But no, they I didn't like that part either. I thought that they kind of messed up that scene to me.
With this final victim, instead of taking the son, I would have liked if he would have took Ruby. Like, he kills the father, right? Like that's one of the victims, and that Dawn looks into. But the final victim is this black woman, older, looks like Athena's age, and he lures her there to be like, this is mom. Like, this is the one who did this, put it right. And then particularly, I wanted Dawn to read those letters that Ruby wrote to my darling baby, to my boy, to my boy, and to my little girl, right? Because she still hasn't done that, for the record. Like, if that moment, like, to save mom, and she's like, look, listen to what mom wrote, and she wrote a letter to explain, like, I can't do this, but I'm trying.
But do you understand why they didn't even allow her to read the like it said to my boy and to my girl? She didn't read it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. But I'm saying that would have been the moment if she would have read the note to him, and that makes him go, oh, like, she did care for us, but this happened, and mama and daddy, your grandparents are dead. Sister killed herself because of all the abuse. Daddy left because he ain't shit. And like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But again, you never even come back to see your kids. But like, whatever. But like, something like, maybe it helps him. It helps him understand, and that's why he's like, okay, I'm going to kill myself because I'm the real monster here, or whatever. But like, to your point, Ken, I don't need to see the minstrel. I need to read the letter. What's in the letter, right? Like that needs to mean something.
Give me that information that was in the letter. Because what was the point of even showing it? Like, you just kind of let it go. I was like, that's a clue. You're a cop.
All right. So what I'm getting from this is, maybe if it goes down a lineage, maybe Edmund had a demon, and now that he's gone and his demon is resolved, now all of a sudden Dawn now has a demon to deal with. And then, it just goes down a lineage, from then on.
But why is her demon so different than Edmund's? Like,
well, so wait a minute. So again, to the point of or just abuse, and it's just inside you, right? The fact that her violent tendencies, right? It could be to the point of we're the. It's almost like Dexter. Remember, like, when Dexter, like, season 1, he found out he had a brother. He's also a serial killer, and it all goes back to like that kind of thing. Like, we're both crazy, but we just went different paths. You know what I'm saying? And like, when you bring the demon to the front, like her demon was coming, and Edmund was like, I gave in, I was weak, but if you do it, then we could be together, and that kind of thing. To be like, well, she has her own demon to deal with, but she conquered hers or whatever. Like, we both got problems. But maybe Kelvin could be season 3. It's not going to happen because they're probably going to move on to another story. But Kelvin could be that next one. You know what I'm saying? To be like he has his own shit to deal with. Single mother, barely there. You know what I'm saying? He almost got killed a couple of times. But I'm
like, the parents aren't even back together, because he was like, oh, dad's coming over again. It was like, so they're not back together. It's just that he's more of an they're just co-parenting now. And I'm like, she doesn't have a job. So what is she doing?
What is she doing? And then I was like, she never made an effort to even go back and check on those kids. To be like, I mean, there was no resolution to any of that. To be like, now I know that I was also like you and abused. Maybe she helps, abused children find homes or something, like good, healthy homes or something. Like, maybe she's like, I'll foster them and be a better parent than what Bernice was, and something like that. Like, show some growth into these characters and kind of in this stuff. I hope they do another season, because what about Gracie and Lucky and him? Exactly. We need to know what happened to them. Like I said, exactly.
I'm like, you said the last season ended abruptly like that. So I'm like, I guess that's the way this season is too. I'm like, as well as
it doesn't make it right.
As well as her having her daddy issues, she says that, why am I a cop? Because I'm trying to follow a man who's not even my real father. So I'm like, that shows that she was just having everything was based on her father just dying while she was at the park or whatever.
No, I think it was more of a betrayal. The betrayal that her mom and her dad never told her that she was adopted. That was the betrayal that she is following a man that she did not know. Like, she's thinking in her head, I'm going to follow in my dad's footstep and be a cop, right? Yeah. Well, now you find out that that man is not even your blood. So she's upset. It wasn't that she was upset with her dad or with the guy who, you know, is her adopted dad. She's upset at the fact that neither one of them thought to say, you're adopted. You know, that can be
I'm saying it in a sense that that's what one of the reasons why she quit the job, because like she was just following his footsteps more or less than she actually
no I think she quit the job because she realized she couldn't. How is she going to go back to that precinct and be a cop and they not fuck with her, right? I mean, come on. That there was no reason she could have. What the chief could have done is sent her to a different precinct. If he was going to give her a desk job, send her somewhere else. Maybe out of state even, right? Just get him a fresh new start or something. He could have done that. But I would have never went back to that office. Those guys hated her.
But I'm like,
they didn't have a reason to hate her, but they did hate her.
But also true. But I did like the fact that everything they said about her was true. Like, it was like
true.
It was like what?
What we saw is that Dawn is a broken person. Like, well, that's what we saw. She is a broken person. She wasn't perfect. She did some really questionable things. Like when she left her partner, you don't do that ever because it's a buddy system, right? You never leave your partner. Understandably, she's trying to save this little boy, but tell the partner, get in the car, let's take him, let's go. She did things wrong. When she took off after the dad, I can't remember his name, the crackhead guy. Well, the guy who was cooking crack.
Curtis.
Why would you endanger in a community by running through houses with a gun? There are children in there. So I'm not saying she didn't do things wrong. She did. So she couldn't have never went back to that precinct.
No, but what you're saying about her running through and that is 100% legal. That's called hot pursuit.
It is, but it's still
dangerous. It's still dangerous for her and the community. And again, for someone who was like, you know, they don't trust us. We got to treat them better. I'm like, you were 2 steps away from shooting civilians. Like if one of them would have made that little boy who was pointing his fake gun at her and like easily could have got shot. And I'm like. What?
No, I want to know why she didn't shoot the people who threw her down the stairs.
Exactly. Also, I love before we wrap this up. I did text the group this because like there's certain things that Black writers just keep on doing, and it just baffles me. Why is all CPS workers white women? Why do we keep on seeing this shit? This is the 3rd show where the random CPS woman, the CPS person, is a white woman. I'm like, God damn it! Like, there's got to be some other people who work in this organization. Like, it just interested me with that stuff. I was like, let's do something different. Let's do something different with that. But again, she did. The community responded the way they're. Also, the worst thing you can be is a cop. They're a crack. That was a crack dealer that we saw with a baby, and you know, no one batting an eye. But oh my God, Cal, your mom's a cop. You bastard! Why didn't you tell me?
No. They say your mom is a killer. That's what they said.
But that was for your mom's a cop, and then she's a baby killer. I'm like, but it was your mom's a cop. He was like, oh shit. I was like, I can't. I was like, this is a lot. I was like, we see that quite often. Good.
No, but the girl that he was talking to was like, I was keeping that a secret, but now she's a kid killer. So
and then again, that never really got resolved. Those racist and sexist men on the people force straight disrespecting Don too. I wouldn't have gone back either. I hear you. I hear you. They did, except for the one good one, I guess, and the captain. But again, she did not make it easy on herself. Like you went behind your people's back for one. I'm saying and then also her stalking the partner until she talked to the mom, to the wife and the 2 kids or whatever that never got brought up. Like I'm like, what? And then racist partner did not arrest the son for the marijuana. I just knew he was gonna go to jail.
No, he just wanted to scare him, and also let Dawn know that he can reach out and touch her people.
And touch her kid. I thought that was gonna happen. I thought she was gonna get her ass whooped. I
was like, what was the point of him saying my first girlfriend was black? I was
because
like,
no. I work with men who say that stuff. Okay.
No, but I'm saying I thought it was gonna mean something to the story.
They say it to make you feel like, oh, I'm not racist because my first girlfriend was black. That doesn't mean you're not racist, though. I could say my last boyfriend was white. Doesn't mean that I'm not racist against other white people. People say these things to make you comfortable, but that's why she rolled her eyes about it, because that does happen. Trust me, it does happen.
When it first came out, I was like, so I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying with little time that we have, not necessary. There's much more important things to get into. That's all I'm saying.
But what she was trying to convey is that he was being racist by just trying to pin it on the black 16-year-old. That's what she was trying to say.
But in the end, it was a black kid who killed this woman.
At the end of the day, in LA at that time, David, what was going on? They even showed Daryl Gates, who had to do a lot of press conferences and stuff like that, trying to defend his LAPD because they were having race issues. You cannot take that out of the story. It's absolutely true. LA was at that time a hotbed of racism. It's not
just racism. She worked in the Rampart division, and that was the most corrupt police department division in the country at that time.
It still was happening. That's what I'm saying.
It still happening. I'm just saying, with the little time that we got to address, we still need to get to. There's a lot of issues about Edmund and the murders that he did.
I'm not denying you that. I'm not. I'm saying I know that, but I'm just saying at that time, the time period they put it in there for those reasons. So if you don't like it, you can rewrite it if you want to. We'll be here to listen to you. But this right now, they have almost 100% as far as likes on Google. They're getting another season for sure.
Of course, they're gonna get another season. And Lena Waithe will show racism, whether necessary or not.
Marvin, but it's not just Lena Waithe. It's Little Marvin who wrote the first season and the second season. He writes, he directs, and he creates. And Lena Waithe is on this one, but she wasn't on the last one. He did that all by himself. And then so it's not just Lena Waithe. Little Marvin started this whole thing. So if she's racist, he's racist. They're all racist. But they're making that money.
I'm saying there's other things. Let's just try to tell a story. Or we can focus on what's necessary with the details. But anyway, season 2 is good. Season 2 is good. It's different from season 1. I would say the connections are a stretch. Like I don't think they should have did it, because it opens it up to too many questions, as we talked about what happened to the family and that type of thing. But it's a good standalone story. They should have took the Fargo like approach, or like the American Horror Story, where it's the same actors per se, but it's a different story. But in the general theme, you know what I'm saying? Like it can stand on its own. But they tried to connect it in a way that I thought was kind of. But it's definitely worth watching. Like either way. I would say Trigg went from lawyer to psych patient. Mayor to psych patient. He was awesome. We said again, he was absolutely awesome. And I felt like if Ryan Murphy, that's what I'm thinking. If Ryan Murphy would have wrote this, right, it would have been like a better story of getting to the evolution of him as a killer and explaining how he did, like he did with Jeffrey Dahmer, where it's like he's a murderer that's not in dispute, but how did he get there? And it makes you follow him down the path, and you're like, this is fucking crazy, but you still see him as a human being. But all people are people. Like even the worst murderers are people, and sometimes there's reasons for what they do that don't make it right, but you would have got that kind of story. And
you would have got more information about the actual killer.
Yeah. So having said that, this is the third time that I've had this since I've started with you guys. There was the Chippendales when I thought it was the cartoon. There was
it was what? Wait, what?
We did. Well, welcome to Chippendales or Night at the Chippendales, and he
thought
it was the actual Chippendales. Hilarious.
So I'm like. Then I knew nothing about what this was about. Nothing. I thought it was about something transgender or something like because them, right? So I thought when he was like, putting on the makeup and stuff, I thought it was about to be some Buffalo Bill, like I want to wear your skin or something.
Well, it could. So anyway, back to real quick. Thank you for that segue, because I remember when I say like Silence of the Lambs, the Red Dragon is the name of the book. Like where it was the guy who tried to transform. Like he thought he was like a Greek creature, and like he was like murdering people, but he would like put on a mask, and all you could see was his teeth, and he had like fake teeth that he used to bite people. Like and that story is what this character kind of reminded me of. Like again, like how does a killer become who he is? And like so when you put on the mask and everything, that's what really jumped at me when I watched both movies, both versions of it. I was like, that's what I thought. So why did he why did he kill her? How I see the clips in her body and twisting up, something like that. How did he do that? So he as a demon ghost, where the fuck he was, he physically broke her bones. Like he bent her and put her into that space, because that's where he and his sister used to hide. So he was staging her just like he did that's what I'm saying. Him and the drug dealer were consistent. Like they were bad parents, and he was staging them so people could see it and be like, but that was personal for him and for his sister, because she saw. That's the other thing. If you go back and watch her initial investigation, it doesn't hold up, because people are watching her talk about things that aren't there, and no one's calling her out on that. Like when she looks at the clock,
yes. When she's walking around with the
microphone, with the tape recorder.
Yeah, I'm like, this was like, what? So I didn't dawn on me that was happening until I rewatched it.
Yes,
and I was like, wait a minute. So none of this stuff was actually there. And then she said, "It's memories. It's my memories." And I was like, are we kidding? Because remember, even the Latin dude Diaz, the Latin cop,
yes,
he was like, she imagined that he was like, "Are you okay?" Because remember, she was like choked up because of the diapers or something.
She was in the back when she was in the bedroom. When she went to the bedroom, like he was standing right there. So I'm like, but it was really the clock that I was like, stop it. I know what you're trying to do. But it doesn't make any sense, because there's like 4 cops in that room, and she's staring at the wall, and in a regular voice, the clock stopped at 3. What clock? Like what?
There's no clock there.
Like there's no clock. Like she's looking at things that other people should be like, what the fuck is happening right now? And like no one calls her out on it. So I'm like, you went too far for me. Like you try to throw in a twist that doesn't hold up once you watch it again. I thought.
But I saw the actual box when I did rewatch the first episode, because you could see the hole that they used to put the straw in.
Where's the box? The box was there?
Yeah, it was there in the first episode when she's doing the walkthrough, but it did, it's there and then it disappears.
Oh wow, you're good. I did not see the box anytime. I didn't.
You have to look for the hole. Look for the hole where they put the straw in, and you'll see the box.
That's the first time you had to say that. Dawn got grandfather's trauma and not mama's trauma with the tap dancing guy. So I'd be interested to see why this happened. If they follow it up, if season 3 for some reason goes down this path, like and they bring that back. I mean, are we gonna bring back the racist ghost that chases down black women? You know what I'm saying? I'm like I don't know.
I don't understand that part. Like I didn't feel like we needed the tap dancing guy for this. Like why? What are we gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? Like we've already had this tap dancing guy previously, right?
Yes.
So what? I don't understand that. Hopefully they write it and I understand it, because I don't get it. I'm like,
I don't see what we're about to do with this shit again. Like she's gonna be haunted again. Like for what? No transgender. You're a fool. I can see where Jabani was coming up with that. So yeah, the foster mom was extremely abusive. It wasn't very well seen, as Kim pointed out. There's definitely neglect, clearly neglect.
Absolutely.
There was some clearly mental abuse, verbal abuse. We didn't see the breaking of the bones. Like it wasn't until Edmund on purpose broke that guy's hand and accidentally, broke that guy's leg, that I'm like, oh, he's connected to what's going on with these broken bodies. and they kind of put that together. But as Kim pointed out, it would have been better if we would have saw that happen to, or at least heard the records. Like, not to see a poor kid with a broken arm, but it's very common in these things where they go to the doctor and the doctor's like, you had 3 broken bones. These 2. The little girl that was sucking on the candy.
Yeah, remember she had that she had bruises over her arm.
If we would have been like, she suffered many broken bones at the hands of this woman, who else? And then like, oh my God, how many children? And then someone's going to the records, and then that would give us an idea how bad she was.
Yeah, and absolutely.
All we heard was the kids say, "I was scared. I was scared." But like, Don and Trig are siblings. Yes, Don and Trig are siblings in the story. But spoiler alert. But Trig goes down a whole path by himself. And it really could have just been his story. It really could have just been.
I would have preferred it be his story. I would have preferred that Dawn wasn't actually. Well, they could have kept the part that they were twins, but they didn't know they were twins. But just go down his road as a serial killer.
Yes.
And really dig into it and show us his abuse. Show the separation of the twins, right? You know, Mama sent him back, and Dawn is over here, and she sees her brother leaving. And she's crying about her brother. I mean, just give me more, like extend the whole story. Yeah. But the star of this should have been Edmund.
Yeah.
His story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then and in the same time frame, whatever, and she's the cop that has to bring him down.
That has to bring him in.
And don't know that they're connected. But he does. And it's all but like that would have been better. That would have been far better. And he wants to get like somewhere, he wants to stop, he wants to get caught, but it just can't. He just can't, like it's too far type of thing. I ain't even watched the show, and I know just what y'all by y'all dialogue what's going to go on. It's a good show. Thank you. It really is a good show, and you should check it out. Again, I got my own trauma watching black content, but Jamani's like, but I was like, but it's still good. It's still good. Like I take a step back. I'm like, that's some shit I'm just gonna have to deal with. But there's still a good story, and Luke does it. Luke does it. He definitely deserves any kind of. Now it's Amazon, so he might get it. He might get nominated.
He might. I hope he does. He needs a Golden Globe, an Emmy, and a BET award.
Oh yeah.
At the very least.
Minimum. I mean, BET, NAACP, Image Award, like something. Like they will come to his rescue. Like they need to treat this the way they treated Snowfall last season. Like everybody needs to get an award for just showing up. Like it was a good cast. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But like I said, any Emmy Golden Globe, I would love to see. It's Amazon though, but I would love to see him get nominated for something. To me. All right, come on.
I think that this is it has a lot more plot holes than Swarm did, but I think it's on the same kind of caliber as far as like Amazon Prime horror type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wouldn't put Swarm in horror. I mean, more like suspense, like type of thing. But this is almost like that classic horror story. Like we say, like Jordan.
Well, like she was actually a serial killer.
Well, she was legit. She was legit. But I'm saying, but like this is, I think people now think Jordan Peele's like the standard for like black horror or whatever. But if it was said he did this, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. Like this is something that he would have put together and like kind of shaped it forward. And it still holds up. Like it still holds up. So it's still very impressive. And I would say this is better than season 1. In different ways. So the story makes more sense, and and it's all relative. But Jamani hasn't finished season 1 yet, so I'll wait for him to do that.
Me, season 1 was actually pretty good. If you just the time frame that they put it in, that was a perfect time frame, because that was when Black people were they were able to buy houses. There were now new laws where they were allowed to live in white neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And so that was the beginning stages of it. Because remember, I didn't know this. I had no clue until I actually watched that Compton used to be all white. And then Black people started moving in, and all the white people moved out because they were like, we don't want to live around, right? And I'm not saying that's whatever.
White flight is a thing. White flight is a thing.
They did that. But I didn't realize it. I'm thinking of Snoop Dogg and
right.
I didn't know that.
The NWA comes out.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was like, oh, okay. So this is actually a pivotal part of history,
Yeah.
where things were changing,
Yeah.
laws were
Yeah.
changing. So yeah, and somebody had to go first, and unfortunately, it was that family, and we
Yeah.
see what happened, right?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
still feel like they didn't do a really good job of tying it all together. But
Did people actually do that? Like buy a house from another state and like sight unseen?
Yeah.
yeah, people do
Absolutely.
that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have
It's-
coworkers who did that. Yeah.
Yeah, especially I was like where I live, especially with property being the way it is, and people they will buy it sight unseen. Like, where is it? Like, they'll see pictures at some point, but especially during COVID, they're like, we got to get from
Well,
point A
yeah,
to
I'm
point
like, now you can actually see pictures and stuff, but I'm like, back then is a really sight unseen in the
Well, I
50s.
mean, so again,
Oh,
you just
true.
but like you said at the time, that wasn't even thought of that you could see it before you got there. So like, you
Right.
just need a place to live. So it will probably be more common, far more common than now. But like, I mean, but even like I said, depending on the situation, yeah. He was giving big dick energy in a nerdy way. Interesting, interesting. Uh, seeing him, I don't know why this crossed my mind, but seeing him as Trig loving a trans woman and preferring
Yeah.
trans women, and then
Yeah.
see him in this role where like he prefers like cis women. I was like, this is good acting. Because I was like, either way, he looks committed to the cause.
No,
I was like,
I thought he was like the 40-year-old virgin. I'm like, I thought he tried to get the prostitute to be like, this will be my first time, and that didn't work out. Fuck it, I'm gonna kill somebody and then kill myself. Like he just died sexually frustrated.
damn. I was like, but it was definitely that classic serial killer first kill situation. Like I thought that's what they were trying to go for, and it's like, and then like, and maybe it was, and it just got messed up. But like, it was just weird. His first victim was the guy from the casting thing, or that again, his only victim before he got caught by the cops, and we don't even know how that happened. Like, was there fingerprints? Was it blood?
Yeah, but okay. So the only thing that I had to, and this is sad because I had to make it up in my head. I was like, okay, so he killed him with the shovel, right?
Yeah.
And so he was dead, and he was all broken up, right? And so I said, you're just gonna leave the shovel? That's what I'm thinking, right, Miss CSI? I'm like, you left the shovel with all your fingerprints on it. So you know what I'm saying? So fingerprints is a thing. So I was like, that's how they caught him. The problem is that we see him drive away, so we never get the in between.
Yeah.
Like the cops looking at his fingerprints and matching it to the shovel. Yeah. And then this is how we get him, and then he kills himself.
Yeah, but I'm like, how do they have his fingerprints to test it to begin with?
Yeah.
So I thought, well,
and when he's killing himself or unaliving himself, I should say, right? The cops are banging on the door, and then when the drug dealer is going through his situation, the same sound is happening, and then he goes to the door, and there's nobody there. So I'm like, why is they repeating the same like sound effects, knocking on the door, same police voice and everything?
I did not know the similarities. I did not know that. So you mean the crack dealer? You're talking about the crack dealer, right?
Yeah, that was the same like open the door, police as when he was there right before he unalived himself.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I didn't even notice that. I don't know, bro. It was silly. I mean, it was rushed. It was rushed and silly because like the demon just happened to be laying there with them, like, "Hey, Edmund, how you doing? Who the fuck are you, and how'd you end up in my space?" Like none of this is explained. Like I'm confused.
I thought he several times before going to the closet. I thought he had like a shrine to the doll or something, and he was like praying to it because he was on his knees. I thought they had a connection before that night.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that would have been like nothing if we would have showed that this demon has always been there. It's the one that caused him to kill that dude. Like, it was just creepy. He's the one that told him to pull out the knife at the Chuck E. Cheese. Like, that would have been something. That would have been something. Like, he's been speaking to him this whole time and making him do this stuff. But no, it's just he just showed up one night and was like, "Yo." Okay, I'll kill myself because you said it. Whoever the fuck you are, I'm like, this don't make
like
sense.
Like basically giving himself to the demon, right?
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, this doesn't
because
like
episode
Shocker did it better. Like Shocker did it better. Like fucking Chucky did it better. Like these are easy to copy storylines, bro. Like I was like, this. Come on, man.
Episode 2 ends with him holding the knife when he gets fired or what have you. We don't see that knife again until he actually unalives himself. I thought the knife was going to mean something, like he's going to be an actual slayer, stabber, something.
Nah. He did nothing. I mean, it's anyway. Come on. She said I'm out. Okay. Foxy Mama is giving Southern anti-tease. Trying to break that out. But all right. Anything else, Jemani?
No, I think we covered everything. Yeah.
All right. Well, I thank you very much for your time. And we will see you again until next time. Kim is in the back doing something. So I will give her a few minutes to see if she wants. Where are Stacy and Chris? Stacy is working. I'm sorry. She left the comment. All right. So Stacy is working today. Chris is moving. Actually, he's moving into his new home, so he's gonna be off. He may be back this week. I don't know. P Valley is starting shooting season 3. I did see that on social media. I saw a social media post. I don't know how legit that is. I want Platinum Paradise. That's what I want. I want 50 Cent to turn his Atlanta club into a real show. Come on, Jemani, you know you want to see that. I was like, I need to see Angel and Lucky and all them take center stage.
with a fight in every episode. That should be the theme song.
Yes, just for no fucking reason, just fighting for no damn. I mean, 50 can do it. 50 can do it. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. Platinum Paradise season 1 coming 2026. That's what I need. All right, boop. All right, Kim. Anything else as we say goodbye?
No. I mean, like I said, it's a good watch, and it's really they did the best that I guess they could, But it had. I didn't realize that Malcolm Mays actually helped to write this. The guy that plays Lulu. I didn't know that. Had no clue. Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, expanding his horizons, right? So, but anyway, thank you so much, Chad. We really appreciate you guys. We hope to see you next weekend. Please come back. Please share the video with anyone and everyone that you know. Please hit the notification bar so you know button so that you know when the next video is coming. We're trying to get 500 views on each one of the videos. So please, you share it. That we'll reach that goal. Also, we're at 2,000 subscribers. We are trying to get to 2,100 subscribers. And so by June 19th, which is my birthday. So it'd be a wonderful birthday present if you guys could get us there. So thank you very much. I will see you guys next weekend.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Next weekend, what do we got? We don't have BMF actually. We're going to be doing some Tubi stuff. I think I got some Tubi ideas that we want to put out there. Ain't nobody ain't coming to see. So I was like, just playing. There you go. So we'll have some content for you. Also, Jemani had a good idea of us reviewing older movies that YouTube is showing for free with ads. So we might get into that. But we'll come up with something. Like, share, subscribe. We're growing. We appreciate you. Put in the comments. That's what it's all about. To kind of Kim doing a better job with the outro than David. Well, that's why we did it. Jemani said, as our leader of engagement, he said Kim is better at kind of doing the closeout, but it's my channel, so I gotta do my part. Anyway, until next time, my friends and family. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us in the chat.
I enjoy the view very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You'll be like, oh shit,
Hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
You want to go there?
Oh shit.
Do your thing.
Fuck that shit.
Anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.